It's your boy John Flo, and welcome to the Origins. We're here to talk about growing up. This is the tale of two cities right now. So, we're talking about growing up in New York City, Brooklyn, and growing up in Lagos. All right. Nony King is on the way, man. Nony King is on the way. So, just a quick recap of the last episode. The last episode was bridging the gap, and we was having like good had a good conversation on that. Make sure y'all check that out. Make sure y'all check that out if y'all haven't checked it out yet. I'll always try to post my live so y'all could check the replay, check what we was talking about. And this one is a special one because we talking about childhood memories and all that stuff, and the way the difference of how we grew up and all that. So yeah, very good episode on the way, man. We just waiting on Nony King to join, but I'm here for you. Anybody that's in the chat, let me know where you from. Let me know where you from, and then we're gonna talk, man. This is gonna be a great conversation, man. Like I said before, I'm here for I'm here. I'm all about consistency on here, man. I'm trying to show my face as much as possible. Sometimes I'll go live 3 times a day or once a day, whatever. As long as it's once a day, that's what I'm trying to do. That's what I'm striving for. Unless something comes up, and then but it'll always be on my mind like, yo, I gotta go live. I gotta go live. I gotta go live. So Continental Hustles. Make sure y'all like, share, and subscribe, and then check out the documentary, The Hustle Nigeria. Is out now. Episode 1 and 2. We got more episodes on the way, but for now we got 2 episodes out for you to check out, and make sure you comment on that. We love the comments. We love hearing feedback. Excuse me. We love to hear the feedback. And yeah. Just enjoy, man. Enjoy what we have, what we come up with, what we bring to the table, because we got a lot to bring to the table. We got a lot of ideas to bring to life, and we're just happy that you guys are here. We're just happy that you guys are here to enjoy the journey. And it's a lot. There's a lot. There's a lot. There's planes in the background. Me. Just give me a second. Me, I like to go in different places. If you haven't joined my live before, I like to go in different places and do my lives. What's going on? Kang, is it Kang Vaughn? All right, how you doing? Man? How you doing? Yeah, just tell me where you from. We just chopping it up before we start the segment, and this is Tale of Two Cities. Yeah, being on fire, man. On fire, being on fire. What's going on, man? How you doing? What you doing? All right. Tell me where y'all from. In the chat. Yeah. We here. We live. We live. We strive to be live. All right, that's good, man. Early blessings to you. California's in the house. Let's go. California. Let's go. What's going on, girly pops? How you doing? North Mississippi in the house. There you go. Yo, Sam Goodman. Shout out to Sam Goodman. Thanks for the subscribe, Beam. Thanks for the subscribe. Here we go. Yeah. Roll call. How you doing? North Mississippi in the house. And guess what? Our guest is here. Tennessee in the house. Girly pops. All right. Thanks for the subscribe. Yep. Nony King. Afa. So can they happen? Like in Nigeria, they say, you day. All right. You see? Teach them the lingo. Teach them the lingo. So, when in Nigeria, when they say, what's happening, they say, no, man, you right on time. Man. We just here chopping it up with the chat, and teaching them a little lingo for a little bit, because not a lot of people know like what's in they happen. So when you say what's in they happen, and and it's Nigerian pidgin, is what's happening, but we don't speak pidgin here. We speak eagle. Yeah. Yeah, so that's how we do around here, man. We just but whenever we say what's in they happen, uh whenever we say what's in they happen is what's happening. And then you will respond I day. So, just a little lingo, brief lingo thing, but we have Nani King here. And Nani King, we're gonna talk about a little. We're gonna touch base on the last episode. We got a roll call. Thank you so much, girly pops. Thank you for the thank you for the like. Thank you for the like. Yeah, so we're gonna talk about the last talk show that we had. We're gonna talk about the last talk show that we had, and we're gonna just do a little quick recap. And tell me about it. Tell me about the talk show, Nani. Tell the people, talk to the folks, and introduce yourself just in case somebody doesn't know your name. My name is John Flo, and then this is not. Go ahead and this is Nani King. This is my guy right here. So go ahead, Nani. Talk to the
Yeah, can
peoples. Yeah, I can hear you good. I can hear you loud and clear.
hello.
Check the chat. Chat. You hear him? You hear him? You hear him loud and clear? Yeah, you good.
Hi, chat. Can you hear me?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay, good. Good. Perfect. Yeah, I can hear you clearly too as well. Hello, guys. Hi to the chat. How are you guys doing? And yeah, I don't, have we done the introduction yet, or
Yeah,
should I do mine?
yeah. It's I just briefly talked about what we're about to do, and
Yeah,
yeah. It's good. It's what we about to talk about and stuff like that about the Tale of Two Cities, and yeah. Let's get we
okay.
excited about we excited about talking about this, so we're doing we're gonna do the recap though. We're gonna do the recap of the last episode for a little bit before we get into it, before we dive in. All right.
Yeah, perfect, man, perfect. Just before we start, my name is Noso. We call me Nony King, and we're just here on the live today to talk about important stuff. So this is Continental Hustles, and then what we do basically is you know we talk about important stuff that concerns Black people and Africans basically, and everybody basically, not just Africans or Black people. um, so just to do a recap of the conversation we had yesterday, we talked about some of the stereotypes and and experiences growing up in Africa and growing up in Nigeria. And yo, man, like, I think we should talk about. Did you see that news about Mr. Beast giving out? I mean, doing his foundation, doing water projects in Africa. Did you come
Yeah,
across
yeah,
that
yeah.
content online?
Yeah. Definitely. I heard about that. It's a good thing, but it just goes back to exactly what we was talking about. Right now in this society, everything is on your phones. Everything's on your
Yeah.
phones. So I say that to get dive a little bit deep into it, because back when we were growing up, everything was on TV. TV was at its highest peak. And nowadays people don't even need TVs because they have their phones. They have phones that fold into TVs. Like big TVs. So it's becoming more of a like how you need your wallet to get out your house. Yeah, you need your phone and stuff like that. And it's like a computer. It is a computer, in your pocket. So people are watching stuff
Mm.
through their phones. Shout out to everybody in the chat. Thank you for the subscribe. Thank you for the subscribe. But yeah, man. Yeah. So now, it's really
So
good.
yeah,
Yeah, go ahead.
okay, yeah, that's perfect, man. Shout out to Mr. Beast because he's using his platform and the other influencers, YouTube influencers and other social media influencers. They all chimed in to support his project, his water project. And I think, personally, my first impression when I saw that Mr. Beast was raising funds to create clean water in Africa, my first impression was like, oh wow, fantastic. He's doing something great for, like, he's using his influence, you know,
Yeah. Yeah, and it is good, it is good that, like what he's doing, man. Shout outs to him. However, however, you know, this is what we here for. You know, this is what we here for. We here to tell you about the real, 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 real. You know, the real, real, real. All right, yeah, yep, yep. Thank you for the like. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Yeah, we're here to talk about the real, real. All right, and what we talked about last time was the we talked about the diaspora and between African Americans and Americans and what we see on TV and what they see on TV. So, Nani, you back? Yeah. So, what we're here to do is show you. What we're here to do is show you the real and what it's really like in Africa or Nigeria. We're here to show you what it's really like, and that there's working people and stuff like that, not just the poverty and stuff like that. There's poverty everywhere. There's poverty in America. There's poverty all over the world. There's a bad neighborhood in every town. No matter what. So you know, but we're not trying to take credit away from what he's doing, because what he's doing is is really good. But at the same time, you know, what we would like to see from Mr. Beast is the real, real. Like the real, real, real. Like that's another form. That's another form of real. But his platform is so big that when you show just that, we want to see what else. We want to see what else he's gonna do. Because when you show just and with a big platform like that, you're just showing the whole world that, okay, that's what you know Africa is starving, Africa is this, Africa is that. What I mean? So it's just in that aspect. What he's doing is good and everything, but it's just that we want to see more. We don't just want to see that. We don't just want to see that, because then you're going back to the times where we watched it on TV, and we seen flies in their mouths, and flies flying around them, and donate $1. You know what I mean? We don't want to. We want to see more. That's all. That's all. Like, that's not it. We don't want you to portray Africa as just that. You know what I mean? So that's all. That's all we touching on. But yeah, Nani, you were saying?
yeah, you know how bad the network can be. But I don't know what you've said so far, but what
Mm-hmm.
and through the pictures and the videos that has been touched good, which is commendable.
Mm-hmm.
But it just reminds me of the early 2000s and late 90s, where they'll be like, oh, donate $1 to save an African child,
Yes.
all that, that type of energy, trying to belittle Africa and trying to, like, show that Africa is.
Yeah.
But do another people that I need to blame for this mishap is the African leaders. Shame to a big shame to the African leaders for neglecting its people. For not fighting for its people and providing basic amenities for its people, because that's what has caused a situation like this. So the matter is that there are some parts of Africa that need this project. There's some part of Africa where the water is not clean. There's some part of Nigeria, for instance, don't have clean water. They have contaminated water and all that stuff. And that is due to bad governance and neglect of their government. But like, there's just a way of presentation. It's doing something fantastic, but the presentation is just is just what I have a problem with. Like, there's a way, like the image basically is just to, because I saw somebody, I don't know, to see whether I'll search for that tweet and was like, oh, can't Africa take care of, can't Africa provide good water for themselves? You know, is Africa stupid? Why can't Africa provide? And I immediately I kind of felt insulted. But on the other hand, man, like this is a basic stuff that the government and its people should provide. But now they're leaving it in the hands of external bodies to do for us. So it's just shame, big shame to the African leaders. That's just one thing I would say, man. Like they haven't done us justice, and I just pray that African leaders wake up. Good. So that is it. Thank you
That's
very
a picture,
much.
right? That's yeah.
Flo,
I had to pull that up. You know,
water is like in the 80s and 90s. That's this type of pipe bomb water. Is the style they use in the 80s and 90s, and them presenting it right now looks belittling, and the image is not just so good. Uh, Let us know what you see, Joe. That's not to take away the credit, but
it sure it sure does, man. It sure does, man. And we don't want to, I feel like I'm taking a selfie, but like I'm photobombing the picture right now. But yeah, yeah, that's what it is, man. That's what it is. Is like the presentation could be better, you know. And like I said before Nani um came back on, like we want to see more. We want to see more. We're gonna show you more. We're gonna show you more here at Continental Hustles. We're gonna show you
yeah,
a lot more.
yeah,
But we want to see more. We
yeah.
want to see more. We don't want to
It's
just
just
see
like,
that.
for instance, yeah, yeah. It's just, for instance, if you are running such type of propaganda, why not Africa also bring out, pictures of like white people oppressing, black people, or going back in time when, they all took us as slaves to America, and the maltreatment of black people. Going back to that, man, like, I feel like it can be better. Like, it can be better, but that's not to talk down on the project. It's doing something good, but we just have to wake up as Africans, basically, because
Yeah.
there's a lot more that we can offer.
And I'm gonna tell you one thing too. Remember how we talked about Tarzan, the last episode, and we was talking about how the savior from the foreign countries and stuff like that. He look how he looks. He looks like the savior. You know what I mean? Like this is the only hope. It's like you know what I mean. When African countries can do better, like they can do this. They could do the same thing. They have the capability to do the same thing. You know, that's
The white panel
y-
to save
yo,
us in Africa. Just
big platform. And this is the same thing that we're seeing on that we seen on the TVs and the movies and stuff like that. So it's a very interesting topic to touch on. Um, comparing the time frames and how it was done then and how is it done now, and it's done through social media. It's done through social media, guys. believe it or not, you know. So there's information out there for you to do your research and see, and really get down to the real. All right, that's what it's
Mhm.
all about
Yeah.
right there. You know. So yeah, Nani. So anything else that we want to touch based off of our last talk show?
Yeah, man. I wanted to play a video that I saw on TikTok. I was scrolling to TikTok earlier today, and then I saw a video. Man, I don't know. I don't know. I'll see. Let me. Oh, sorry. Anyways, but I think maybe we'll bring.
Yeah, definitely. So we're here to talk about so so we're here to talk about origins, the tale of two cities. This is what we're here for. This is what that was a little recap of everything, but we're here to talk about the origins, how it started with both of us, and then how it was to grow up in eat both cities. But before we get into that, who be this? Who be this? You seen this? This guy claiming to be Elon Musk's son. Who be this? Don't he look like he look just like him, man. I'm not even gonna lie. He looks just like him, man. That's your son, Elon, man. That's your son. I don't know, man. I think that's your daddy. I think that's your son, man. Yeah, man. You see him? You see him, right?
Ah,
He look just this guy look just like Elon, man. Yo, we got black Elon in the house, man. Check him out, man.
ah, ha, ha, ha.
Come on, man. You don't see the resemblance?
It looks AI. AI.
It could be. You can't believe everything that you see. But if that's the case, he got jungle fever, jungle fever, jungle. You know, remember that song?
No, I don't.
It's an
I'm not.
old
I'm
song.
not
It's an
sure.
old song that came out in the 80s. I wasn't like quite born yet, but yeah.
Hmm.
If that's the case,
Yeah, maybe.
let me.
Maybe. Yeah.
If that's the case, but yeah,
You know.
yeah. So back to the origins.
Mhm.
So Nani, you want to start off with a
Yeah.
question?
Talking about. We just want to. Just so we carry the audience along. Talk about the tale of two different worlds. The tale of two, like you know, my name is Chinoso, for instance. I'm from Enugu. Enugu is like the east coast of. Um, Hello, can you hear me?
Yeah,
Okay, 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 good. So
yeah. That's fine. That's fine. That's fine. So yeah, just a little background and about me, and I grew up in. Yeah, go ahead. Yeah, so I grew up in East New York, and I was pretty much. Uh, yeah. I grew up in East New York, Brooklyn. All right, you know, I spend a lot of time with my cousins and stuff like that. My parents lived in Queens and stuff like that, and I just in Queens, and I used to spend a lot of time in Brooklyn. I pretty much grew up in Brooklyn, you know, but I spent time with my a lot of time with my cousins, a lot of time with my, it was pretty much every weekend, every summer, you know, and yeah, man, growing up in Brooklyn was just fun, you know, fun. Like in Brooklyn, they have parks everywhere, and it's just something to do every day, and that's like East New York is like one of the is the first part of is a borough. It's separated in boroughs, like in New York it's separated in boroughs and stuff like that, and that's like the first uh like Brooklyn is the borough, but that's the part of Brooklyn, like East New York, they call it East New York, and then yeah, so
Okay.
so that's like the first part of Brooklyn that you reach when from coming from Queens. When it depends on what highway you taking, but yeah. Um, and those days was just 1 second. It's just a little noise.
Hello.
Yeah, it was just a little noise there. That's all. But yeah, this is I'm just sharing a baby
Okay.
picture. That's a
Uh-huh.
baby. That's a baby picture right there. So yeah, 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 definitely, man. Growing up there was just it was just fun, a lot to do. I mean, you grow up fast in New York, man. You grow up fast. Corner stores everywhere, and the culture is just a melting pot. It's just a melting pot. A bunch of people from the Caribbean, a bunch of people from Jamaica, wouldn't you name it? Every like the block that my grandmother was on, it was just a little bit of everybody in that on that block. Jamaicans, Guyanese, Trinidadians, and stuff like that. Because that's what my background is, Trinidadian. And you know, yeah, yeah. We had block parties. It was it every. I believe we had block parties every September. There was a point where we had a block party
Okay.
every September, and that's pretty much when the whole neighborhood comes around, and we shut down the whole block. We put cars between each side of the block. There's a lot of one-way streets in Brooklyn and in New York, like Manhattan and stuff like that, is one-way streets. So we'll just block off. We'll take all our cars, whoever has a car, we'll block it off on each side, and we'll have a big party. And the party is
Mm.
from morning time to the till like midnight and stuff like that. So that's what we have. And that's a culture. That's a New York culture thing. Yes, absolutely, absolutely. That was one of the. That's one of the. That's just. I'm talking about food, because people we used to have bake sales and stuff like that. We used to have bake sales, and to raise money to provide the food, have the games, because it was a big thing. Big DJ uncle was DJing and stuff like that. We had races and stuff like that. We had bragging rights every year, and when the block parties came around, and
Mm-hmm.
yeah, we used to do races. We used to do tug of war, men versus women. Women always used to win. Women always used to win. I don't think, I don't think there was a year
How
that,
come? Like,
because they, of course, with the disadvantage, of strength, what I mean, they had more women on each side. But yo, women's legs are
mm,
naturally strong. So you don't even need the
fair enough.
amount, the yeah, you don't even need the amount that we had over there. So it was always a disadvantage for the men. Because when them women start pulling, oh my
Yeah,
gosh,
that's
man.
crazy.
Yeah, 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 yeah. When them women start pulling, man, yeah, man. We had double dutch competition. I don't know if you know what double dutch is. You know what double dutch? You ever
Yeah, I
seen it?
mean, yeah, that's fun, man. That sounds fun.
Yeah. But yeah, that was that's like pretty much, one of the greatest memories I've had at growing up, you know. But what about you, Nani? Like,
Hmm.
give me a little rundown on, games you used to play, growing up. Because I probably don't know one game that you used to play when you growing up, and things that you used to do, trouble you might used to get in. You know what I mean? Because I got in a lot of trouble growing up,
So
man.
I mean, so did I. Man. I
Yeah.
got into a bunch of trouble as I'm growing up because I'm the second child, and the thing they talk about, the second child or the middle child, something like that. Like we are very rebellious. So to an
Hey,
extent, I was rebellious to an extent
hey, Nani,
as
you ready for
when
this
I
one?
was growing up.
Hold on, you
Yeah,
ready
yeah.
for this
Tell me,
picture?
tell me.
You ready for this picture? Are you ready for this
Uh,
picture?
uh,
I'm gonna share a
uh,
picture.
Go ahead.
Ready? All right,
All right, all
let's
right.
go. Here we go. Here we go. Let's talk about
Yo,
origins. Let's talk about origins, man.
yo, man, like this one caught me off guard, man. Like, yo, this
Let's
is
talk about
crazy.
origins,
Yo,
man.
that picture, by the way,
Mhm.
that picture, by the way, was I just finished because in Nigeria, our system of education, we have like primary school, and this time
Mhm.
I just finished from my sixth, and now I was entering junior secondary school. So that's like the middle school in America. So I was just about to enter. I just graduated from primary school, and I was going to middle school, and
Mhm.
that's the context behind that picture. And that particular day, man, like I was mad. I was tired. I was hungry because I hadn't eaten. Like it was a big celebration at school,
Yeah.
but they not at the time, like there's a way in any party in Nigeria. I don't know if it's the same thing with the US. Like where they start sharing food, like you have to know somebody that is sharing the food so that the food will get to you. you
Oh
know,
yeah.
you're like you just have to know somebody that is sharing the food, so that you get like special treatment. That day, man, like although my mom is a teacher, but like she was busy with whatever she was doing. She was busy with whatever she was doing, and she wasn't available. So, but yeah, I suffered that day, and I was just so grumpy. I was hungry. So that's the origin of that picture, man. That's yeah. That you got me actually. You got me. You got me. You got me.
Great picture, man.
And now
This
that I
is
think about it, man, like I did not have. I don't have much baby, I don't remember having any baby pictures, to be honest.
well, we got one.
Like I don't remember having like the youngest picture that I have. I was probably around 4 years old at the time. Man. That was like the youngest picture that I have.
Oh
Yeah, can you
wow,
hear me?
wow. Yeah, I can hear you. I can hear you. Yeah, yeah, man. Yo, man.
Yeah, man.
I don't.
But talking about growing up in Lagos, it was fun. Lagos was like much like New York. Lagos is a melting pot as well for a lot of people, a lot of cultures, and a lot of ethnic groups in Nigeria. Because Lagos was one of those places that got like most developed, like it got very developed, early on, and so you had a lot of people coming here for like better opportunities and stuff. Like like growing up, they used to see Lagos as say traveling abroad.
Yep. Shout out to all the
Yeah, can you hear
subscribers,
me?
man. Appreciate you. Appreciate you. Appreciate you. All right. Appreciate you. Appreciate you joining.
Yeah,
Appreciate you
man.
joining.
Shout out. Yeah, yeah, for sure. Shout out to everybody tuning in to us. You're welcome. We appreciate your support, and we appreciate you um, always being there for us. Whenever we host our live. And as I was saying, I think some of my fond memories about growing up in Lagos was during Christmas. Christmas was one of the fun times, as a child, because everything about Christmas was perfect. Everything about Christmas was exciting. Yo, man, like a month to Christmas, I used to have goosebumps. Like I couldn't, like a month, a week to Christmas, like I used to have goosebumps. Like I won't be able to sleep, out of excitement because oh, Christmas, is around the corner and stuff. So we would host carnivals. Although at the time, right, my parents did not allow us go to those carnivals. But the carnivals were fun, a lot of fireworks as well. Some of the games that we played that I played. Um, there's this game called I Call On. I Call On. So how they play this game is like you have different players, and then it just be like I call on sports. I call on sports. So now you just like start to write down any sport, like all the sports. If you run out of sports to write, like football, basketball, hockey and all that stuff, if you run out of it, then you lose the game. You understand? So these are like very interesting game. Growing up, and I had fun memories as well. Growing up in Lagos and stuff like that. So yeah, man. So yeah, yeah. Lagos was cool. Lagos was cool.
Wow, wow, wow. That's amazing, man. That's amazing to hear, man. And then Nani King, I have a question for you, pertaining to growing up and stuff like that. Who who
Hmm.
did you look up to when you was growing up as somebody that was a hard worker, a hustler, just always on the grind, and because it's all about the continental hustles. You know what I mean? So we're trying to find out who did you look up to growing up, and then I'll answer the same question as well. When you're done.
Um, I think for me, growing up, the first inspiration you always have growing up is like I think my dad. My dad was somebody that I looked up to a lot. You know, I felt it was cool. You know, and yeah, I looked up to him a lot because as a child, like when they give you assignment from school, you call out any word. My dad knew all the words that I was just like, what's the meaning of this? I know he tells me the meaning of it. I was like, wow. I thought my dad was very smart, so I thought he knew everything in the dictionary. I thought my dad knew every word in the dictionary,
Wow.
because of
So
me.
do you guys do you
So
guys know
yeah,
about
man.
do you guys know about Scrabble? Like the Scrabble game? You know about the Scrabble game? It's like a game where you match words and you make words out of tiles and stuff like that. But he seemed like he would be good at that game, big time. But yeah, man, that's interesting, man. Of course we have our you know, of course we're gonna look up to our fathers and stuff like that, and then yeah, like same here, same here. Like, cause my dad used to work a lot. He worked in construction, and he used to come
Okay.
home. Yeah, he used to come home dirty every time. But I'll always look forward to to hugging him when he gets home and stuff like that. And he would say the same thing, like, "Yo, I'm dirty, man. I'm dirty. Watch out, I'm dirty, man." Cause he used to come home filthy because he worked in construction. So and that was one of my
Hmm.
childhood memories of
Yeah.
just looking up to him as a hard worker and stuff like
Yeah,
that.
man. And
Yeah, man. Shout out to all the fathers. And you know sometimes we take fathers for granted because not a lot of people have fathers around and stuff like that. And you know just shout out to the fathers out there and the mothers too. I'm not gonna leave y'all hanging. I mean, the mothers out there. Shout out to everybody that parents stick together, and or that's playing both sides, father and mother, because you
yeah,
know yeah, it's just real. It's just, you just have to, some people just forget that their father's around, and don't and not give thanks to that, because and not think about the people that's that's doesn't have fathers around. So very important,
Mm-hmm.
very important. you know whether you're a father figure, or whether you're a father figure to somebody, or actual father to them. you know Shout out to them. Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Shout out to yeah to the parents that show up, to their kids, because as I was saying before the network,
Hmm. Yep. Thanks for the subscribe. Thanks for the subscribe. you know Yeah, yeah, man. Yeah, we talking about, this is a great conversation, man. I'm just loving every moment of it, because it's good that it's good to go down memory lane, and go back to the basics, because you get to reflect on those. I can't. I wish I could. I wish I had a better picture of this, because the picture is too horizontal. That was me and my cousin in Trinidad. We was in Trinidad. And yeah, yeah, that was me and him in Trinidad. So, but yeah, man, it's amazing to just reflect on the good times, because who you were as a child is who you are. Like, that's like one of your most, or that was your most, or you was your most authentic self as a child. You know what I mean? You was your most authentic self as a child. So I believe that you were born with your personality. And because I've seen it with my niece. I've seen it with different people. You know what I mean? And yeah, sometimes you know how babies, when they drop something on the ground, they naturally stoop, they naturally bend down the right way, and pick it up. Like, they bend down and squat down and pick it up. And then we is like us unlearning the right way to do things, by just bending over with your back and hurting your back. You know what I mean? And instead of doing it, it's like that. Something like that. You know. But yeah.
yeah, man.
Yep. Yep.
Yo, the network and everything has just been against me. So
No,
um,
no big deal, man. We
apologies
still hold it
for
down.
the in and
I
out,
can
man.
I can hear you
Yeah,
louder
yeah,
too now. I can hear
yeah.
you louder too.
So I don't know.
Yeah.
Okay, good, good.
So
So yeah, man, we're just shouting out to. Yeah,
so
I can hear you.
so what about sports growing up? What about sports? Was sports a big thing for you growing up?
Sports was a huge thing growing up. It
Really?
was a huge
Really?
thing.
Yeah.
So funny story. Yeah, when I
Mhm.
was younger, I felt like I could play every sport. Like I felt like I was good at every sport. Like of course, football, soccer was like number one for sports growing up in Nigeria. But I was also like then I watch basketball. Not like I watch live basketball matches, but like they show highlights of Michael Jordan. So I loved Michael Jordan growing up. Like the
Oh,
guy, he
really?
had skills, he had flair, he had everything about him. So yeah, Michael Jordan was like the probably the face of basketball when it comes to basketball then. So like, you know, I feel like he's still the GOAT. I don't know what you think, but Michael Jordan is still the GOAT for me.
Well,
So
that's what the masses will think. But it's like, but it's like, yeah, you got to give him his credit. You got to give him his credit, man. He was considered Black
oh,
Jesus.
do,
You
do
know what
you
I mean?
have do you have another GOAT in mind? Who's your GOAT? Who's your GOAT?
Well, I would say, this is I would answer that by saying this. It was different eras. You know what I mean? No, Jordan played in an era where shooting guards wasn't the stars. You know what I mean? They wasn't used to that. He brought something new to the table. So it's like figuring out how to guard somebody that's a shooting guard, 6'6", 6'6", when everybody was in the '90s was the big man was the star, for a long time, and it was up until Jordan came around that that's when things changed, and it was like, all right, how are we gonna guard this? How are we gonna guard a superstar shooting guard? You know what I mean? And they had, don't get me wrong, they had great players in his position, coming on his throughout his career,
Mhm.
but Jordan was just different. Jordan was just different, man. He really changed the game, and he was able to accomplish. Some people forget that and what gives him goat goat um goat status is the fact
Status.
that they people forget that he injured his foot. He injured his foot in the beginning of his career, and he was able to persevere. And the GOAT status is not just the way he plays, is the it's the his mindset, and
The mentality.
that's what Kobe mirrored. He mirrored his mindset. He tapped into it, and that's what he turned it into a Mamba mentality. You know what I mean? And that's talk about like going in the Olympics and up 5 in the morning, telling guys to get up 5 in the morning, making bets. Like, you know what I mean? Like, yo, you gotta, if you don't do this, you gotta go get up 5 in the morning and work out with me. Like that mindset right there is really what makes you a goat. You know what I mean? Because it starts here. It always starts here. You know. So yeah, yeah, definitely, definitely. But growing up, basketball was always a thing. Basketball was always um on the television when the Knicks game is on, especially when they play in Jordan. We hated Jordan. We hated to play him because he would bust our ass. You know what I mean? And we wanted, of course, as a Knicks fan, we wanted to win. We wanted to win. So yeah, man. We had our rivalries, and I had my one cousin that liked the Bulls. He always liked the Bulls, and he would talk his shit, and he would talk a lot of shit, because the Bulls had a dynasty. You know what I mean? They had a dynasty, and then growing up watching them, because that was the early, like the mid '90s. Mid '90s was when they started winning championships and stuff like that. So I was able to see that. I was able to see that throughout, and yeah, man, we used to hate them, man. We had that. That was the times where we had our best squad too. We had Patrick Ewing, we had John Starks, all that, and Jordan would just come around and just, why don't you be on the Western Conference, man? Why don't the Bulls be on the Western Conference or something so we could play against each other in the end? Because we always knock us out or somebody knocks us out. You know what I mean? And so, yeah, man, it was tough. It was tough being a Knicks fan. Even when we had the best team, but guess what? We're coming. We're coming. We're coming. We got a team now. We got a team now.
Yo,
I'm surprised I don't got my Knicks hat, but I got the colors. I got colors. I got colors.
yo,
You know.
John Flo, ask this simple question, and you are giving me history. Yo, like, who is your goat? Just say it. Let us hear who the goat is for you.
Oh man, that's tough, man. That's a tough answer. I like
You're
Allen
giving us
Iverson,
history
man.
lessons.
I like Allen Iverson, man.
Oh
Yeah,
wow, that's
that's my guy, man.
yo,
If it wasn't for all the ridicule he went through and stuff like that, yeah, I would say that. I would say that because at his size, he dominated. At his size, you know, he was literally pound for pound. But of course, Jordan, man. I like to go against the grain. You know what I mean? So if I pick a goat besides Jordan, it'll be Iverson, Allen Iverson. The answer. That's the answer. Instead of
okay,
giving you a history lesson.
okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Yo, but for me, like growing up talking about sports, I feel like I could. do every sport. Football, but football was my number one sport. That's soccer
Yeah.
was the number one sport for me. I was good at it, and I was always getting in trouble playing football because you know my parents would be like, oh, don't go out by like when you come back from school, don't go out, stay indoors, whatever. But not
Yeah.
me, not me. I would go out.
Mm.
I would go out. You know, I would do those things they say we shouldn't do. I'll go play football, and then by the time my parents come back, my dad comes back, you know, he would beat me like not he would like he would whoop my ass
I
for
go beat you. I go beat you.
for doing those things. Like I get punished.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
go
of
beat
course,
you.
man. I
So
go
like
beat you. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I got disciplined for that, and stuff.
Yeah,
So
man.
yeah, that football basically, every other sport was like secondary. And then
Listen,
I also went out to play video games as well.
oh, okay. Yeah, I was a big time gamer. Big time
And I used
gamer
to get
going
in
growing
trouble
up.
for playing video games.
You used to get in trouble. They were like, stop that nonsense.
Yeah. And in yeah, yeah, in Lagos especially, there were places where you go to play games, like you pay money, play. Then we're playing PS1, PS2. PS2 was the highest game for a very long time. I
mm-hmm.
think
Yep.
PS2, I played PS2 for like a very long time before PS3 or whatever came out. But
Right.
uh, the thing is, area boys, like some bad boys would go to these game centers. They would gamble. They would do one sort of thing, and
Mm-hmm.
but then my parents were always telling me not to go there. But when I go there, my siblings will snitch. They will snitch on me. They'll be like, oh, he went to there's this place just not so far from my house, just by my
Uh-huh.
street.
Yeah.
This building was like an uncompleted building. It's an
Mm-hmm.
uncompleted building, but people were living there. So the owner of the building, I think one of the children, started a gaming center where you could go play video games. And so when I
Mm-hmm.
go there to play video games, my sisters would snitch on me. That be like, oh, it's going to an uncompleted building. An uncompleted building back then in the Nigerian in Lagos and in Nigeria were like these were places that bad boys used to hang like
Uh-huh.
bad boys they used to
And I
hang
noticed that
out
too.
there. So
That was one of the
when I hear
things I
that I go to
noticed.
uncompleted buildings,
Yeah,
aha,
like
for real.
yeah, that's what I noticed. I noticed that. I noticed that was like a thick thing, like, cause
Because
like,
those places are like the hideouts for bad boys.
yeah, yeah, they'll go to uncompleted buildings and stuff like that and do their thing. That's like the like what we call the trap house in America. You know, that would be the
Okay.
the trap house of Legos. You know,
Okay. What happens in the trap house, by the way?
a lot of just all type of criminal activities. But mostly drugs. You know,
Mm,
what I mean. It's just like a hideout. For
okay.
criminals to do their thing. But
Yeah.
yeah, that's like pretty much what
Exactly.
it
It's
is.
just like that for like I think that's like that for like the Nigerian balance, and I used
Mm-hmm.
to get in trouble for that too. But those are fun memories. Those are fun memories. So shout out to everybody. For tuning in. Like we had a bunch of uh people who tuned in earlier, but shout out to you guys. Also, don't forget to like, subscribe, and watch our
Yep.
videos, like our main content. You know,
Yeah.
we released documentaries, and
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and the documentaries
uh,
out. You know, we got episode 1 and 2 out. Make sure y'all check that out, man. Check that out. Check the 2 episodes out, and then make sure you leave a comment. We love comments, negative, positive, whatever it is, man. We all for it. All right, we just want to know your feedback. You know, but yeah. So now I have one question. I have one question because I want to touch base on this because this is not going to be the first and only segment of this because we got a lot more to talk about origins and stuff like that. This is just this is our second segment
Mm.
of the live, the Tale of Two Cities, and we'll have some more, segments of this. As long as we could go, and then we had the Bridging the Gap, which is talking about the differences and the stigmas of between African Americans and Africans, and what how they see us and how we see them, and how everything is portrayed. And we just talk about that. We have a conversation about that, and then that's real good. So the live that we had is posted already. You could go ahead and check it out if you want to, like, make a we try to post all our lives so y'all could go back to if you missed it. So because we're at the 5 minute mark right now. Thanks for the subscribers. Thanks for everybody that joined in and subscribed and liked and shared. And yeah. So one thing I wanted to ask, because this has to be talked about in this one. What was uh a treat? Excuse me. What was one of your favorite treats to get? Like, it could be candy, ice cream, whatever it is. What was your favorite treats growing up, as a kid in Lagos?
Yo, man, talking about this now, there were a
It's you
lot.
sound
There were a
it
lot of.
sound like
I
it's
used
too
to
much.
like.
The way your face went, it was like, damn,
For
it's
real,
so
and
much.
they were majorly local. Yeah, man, they were mostly local candies.
Yeah.
They were not like
Okay.
the candies or chocolates that you are familiar with. These were
Yeah.
locally made candies.
Oh
So I
wow.
remember when I
Wow.
was in primary school, I'd
Yeah.
always buy this candy. It was called Babadudu. Babadudu, like it was my number one
Oh
candy
man,
at some point.
Baba Doodle don't
Because I
sound right,
loved,
man.
it was I don't even know what it's made out of.
What is it, man? Please tell us what it is, because we don't want to put doodle in our minds. We don't want to put the doodle part in our minds. All right. Once you said doodle, you lost. It's like you lost me on doodle, the doodle part.
So Babadudu, like let me just like what it means
Go ahead.
basically.
Go ahead. Tell them what.
So
Tell them the
so
thing. Tell them the thing.
Babadudu means like it's a Yoruba word.
Mm-hmm.
So let me tell you the thing. The thing is,
Tell me the thing.
Babadudu was, is a Yoruba word, means, you know, it means black. Wow, now that I think about it, it's kind of weird. Black man, like someone that is very dark, dark.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Someone
That's
that
it.
is very dark in complexion. You
Uh
understand?
huh.
Because
Yeah.
this candy was like very black and it's long. It's like the way they sell it back then. It looks like it would look like what was it called, sausage rolls. Like I don't know, man. Like whenever I
Mm-hmm.
watch American movies or cartoons, they stink sausage rolls together. Like
Mm-hmm.
they stink sausage rolls together. But this candy, they used to tie them together like a sausage roll, and so you just remove one and then start licking it. I don't even know what it was made of now that I think about it, but I loved it. I always treat myself to that. I loved it to an extent. It got to an extent, and I did not eat it as much. But I used to like Babadudu. Um, I used to like one of that. Those were just like local stuff, man. Like those were local
Mm-hmm.
stuff, and there were biscuits as well. Um, chocolate biscuits. There were chocolate biscuits that I liked too. But then the premium, like the premium of when it comes to treating yourself was Mr. Biggs. Mr. Biggs was a fast food joint. Where you
Mm-hmm.
could go to. Like it's only rich kids that go to Mr. Biggs anyway. Mr. Biggs is just like maybe Chick-fil-A right now that you have in America, or all
Mr.
the other
Biggs.
stuff. But
That's what's
Mr. Biggs
called,
was
Mr.
like
Biggs.
the number one back then. So yeah, Mr. Biggs,
It's just like the
yeah,
song.
is a fast food
It's just like
restaurant, a
that.
fast food chain.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So the meat pie, there's a huh? Yeah,
It's a meat.
there's a snack called meat pie. I don't know if you
Uh
had it
huh.
while you were in Nigeria.
Nah.
Meat pie
Maybe I might have had it. I
was a
might have had
number
it.
one snack for a long time.
Yeah. I might have had
Man,
it. I
like
don't know.
meat pie was good. Like even till now,
Mm,
if yeah, I can't even remember now.
mm, yeah, but I mean, there was like certain snacks that I tried that reminded me, and I know I believe I know where it comes from because in Trinidad, we have a similar snack. You know the it's kind of like a beige, very hard and crunchy. It's like sticks. It's like crunchy sticks, and, and like they're called in Trinidad. They're called kuma or whatever. But
Okay,
I don't remember. Is remember when we went to Oshodi? No, it wasn't Oshodi, or
okay,
it was like right before Oshodi. We take like a KK. We take a KK over there,
okay,
and then that's like the first stop. It's like where we did that video where we did the night scene. I forgot the name of
okay.
the spot. But yeah, that's where we went, and then you let me try it, and it reminded me of the that same thing. But I'll probably when we do like a food segment and a snack segment, I'll have like pictures ready so I could just put on the green screen and show the public.
Okay.
But yeah, it reminded me of that. But before we go, I want to just answer that question. One of the things I look forward to,
Before we go, look
the,
at my screen.
hey, the,
That's that's the
hey.
youngest picture that I have.
That's the youngest picture.
That's about
Who's
the
that behind
youngest.
you?
Yeah, that's the youngest. I think my uncle, like
That's
my
your uncle.
uncle was the one behind me. Yeah, my
Oh,
uncle.
okay.
And
Oh,
my
okay.
dad's younger brother
Oh,
was the
that's
one
cool,
behind
man.
me. Yeah, and that day was like because I'm Catholic, so
Yeah.
that day was the baptism of my immediate younger sister. I think
Oh,
it was the
wow.
baptism of my immediate younger sister. So we had like family come round, and all that stuff. But yeah, that's the
Wow.
youngest picture that I remember or that I know of.
Yo,
And I was about
the
four
next.
years here. I was
Uh
about
huh.
four
Go ahead.
years.
You was 4 years old. Oh,
I was
wow,
about
wow,
four.
wow. Yeah.
Yeah, I was about 4 years.
Yeah. That
I was
my
about
other
four
picture.
years
Hold
old.
on. Leave that picture up. Leave that picture up real quick. Leave that picture up because I want to show. Because I wanted to show another picture, but it's not showing in the green screen. But yeah. That's why I wanted. That's the image I wanted to see. The both two pictures on the screen, so you could see the. Yeah,
Yes,
man, yeah.
sir.
Origins, man, origins. So
Yeah.
this is definitely gonna be on the thumbnail. Yeah, this is definitely gonna be on the thumbnail. I'm gonna do the same pose, like. I thought I was a model back then. I thought I was a model, you know. But yeah, man.
uh,
But you know
actually been
the
a good picture for
yeah. We gotta do the origins, man. We gotta show the pictures. So next time we do Tale of Two Cities, I want you to be ready with some pictures, man. We gotta find some more pictures, man, because we gotta put some more up. I'm gonna do the same, show some baby pictures and stuff like that. I probably could go way
yeah.
back. You
You
know?
know the thing with me is that I don't even have shit.
Yeah. So in New York they have this truck, right? It's called Mr. Softy. You ever heard of? I ever told you about Mr. Softy?
Okay.
Mr. Softy is like an ice cream truck. It's an
Nah,
ice cream
nah,
truck.
nah, never.
Yeah, it's a blue and white ice cream truck, and it played a tune, a particular tune every time, and just drives by the neighborhood real slow, and it goes block to block selling ice cream, soft serve ice cream, and the tone was like, every time you heard that truck, kids will just run out, and ice cream was like $1 back then, like $1, $1. And there'll be some people like big boys in the neighborhood might buy ice cream for the whole block, you know. But like at the end of the day, we like somebody will give us $1. We will always look forward to hearing that particular tune, that particular sound. And yeah, it was every summer. It was like summertime, man. Summertime, the ice cream man is out, man. We always look forward to the ice cream man coming out, you know? Yeah, just to touch base on that, the snacks and stuff like that. So yeah, Nani. Yeah, man. We will have another episode. We will
That's
not have another
that's cool.
episode like this. I, again, we appreciate everybody coming. That's gonna we're coming towards the end of it, and it was a great episode. We'll post it. Make sure and post it. So you could like, share, and subscribe, and just we this is what we here for. We here to interact with the community, our community. We almost at 4,000 subscribers. We if we're not already from the live and all that stuff, man, great. But we appreciate each and every one of you for joining us and following our journey. You guys are here early in the game, man. There's a lot more coming. All right. Me and Nani King, we're on a mission. And we're here to educate, entertain, and inform. So we're doing different things, and we're on a mission. So we thank you for coming out, and we appreciate you, taking your time out the day to listen to us. Yeah, definitely. So Nani King, I know you're a busy man. I'm a busy man too. So you know, appreciate you.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we have
Yeah, we appreciate everybody stopping by. We got work to do. We gotta go back in the lab.
so
Cook up some more stuff for y'all, and we'll be back. We'll be back, man. We'll like I said, I'll try to be on here every day, even if it's just to um
appreciate everybody and appreciate
yeah, definitely. Thanks for everybody stopping by and making and commenting. And yeah, man. Yeah, man. We here, man. We here. So on that note, early blessings to all of y'all. Hope may the blessings carry you throughout your whole day, and so on and so forth, so on and so forth. Yeah. So yeah. All right, Nani. We'll talk on the next one. Later, everybody. Thank you for joining. Until next time.